This is the solution to problem number 37 from the Math Level 2 practice exam. You've got a function f of x equals sine of 1/2 of x. Sine of 1/2 of x means that you're going to have a period. Just to kind of refresh your memory on that, the period will be 4 pi as opposed to 2 pi for a typical sine wave, sine of x. Now, we're kind of zoomed in on this particular portion, the portion from, we want to look at from 0 to this part here, which is 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2, halfway between pi and 2 pi. And at 3 pi over 2, we can evaluate the function and get a value right on the graph. When you evaluate the function at pi, you're going to have a point on the graph. In fact, that'll be the peak, which is at 1. And at pi over 2, you're going to evaluate the function, and you'll get an output that is equal to that point on the graph. The problem that we're looking at in the book, or on the ebook, says that, well, each one of those points forms the right side of a rectangle. We know that the width of each rectangle, so I can kind of draw out those rectangles right here. The width of each rectangle is pi over 2. And we want to find the sum of the area of the 3 rectangles. So we can simply calculate the area of each one, add them up, and that'll give us our answer. So the first one, in order to determine that height, you need to evaluate the function at pi over 2. So what is f of pi over 2? That's equal to the sine of 1/2 of pi over 2. The sine of half of pi over 2 is really the sine of pi over 4. You may think of that also as the sine of 45 degrees, which is equal to root 2 over 2. So that is the height of that rectangle, root 2 over 2. So I'm going to kind of separate that out. Now, what happens when you evaluate at pi? What is that output? So what is f of pi? F of pi is equal to the sine of 1/2 pi. Or in other words, the sine of 90 degrees. The sine of 90 degrees is 1. So this height is 1, which matches our picture here, and the picture, more importantly, on the practice exam. And the final part is the sine of, f of 3 pi over 2, which is going to be equal to 1/2 3 pi over 2, which is the sine of 3 pi over 4. The sine of 3 pi over 4 is also equal to root 2 over 2. So that's the height of that third rectangle. So now what we're going to do is just calculate the area of each one. Pi times root 2 over 2, the area would be, of the first rectangle, would be pi root 2 over 4. The area of the second rectangle is going to be 1 times pi over 2, which is pi over 2. The area of the third rectangle is the same as the area of the first rectangle. So it's pi root 2 over 4. So we need to add up those 3 values. So let's take a look and see how this is playing out. Pi root 2 over 4, pi root 2 over 4, that's going to be, I'll put it up here at the top. That means that you're going to have the left rectangle and the right rectangle is going to be 2 times pi root 2 over 4, which is pi root 2 over 2. That's the left plus the right. And then we have this middle triangle, or middle rectangle, which is pi over 2. So it's pi root 2 over 2 plus pi over 2, which is choice A. Choice A says pi over 2 plus pi root 2 over 2. Choice A is the solution.